14 loss on Thanksgiving Day, prime time, halftime show, Salvation Army. All things were set for it to be a great day, but I know Jerry Jones is not happy with this. Are you guys ready to hear from him?
Hey, boss man, that's LeBron.
Boss man talked today at TNT Stadium. Let's take a listen to Jerry Jones with the media after tonight's loss.
Very vocal in your support.
Are you straddling that stop?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Jerry, you've been very vocal in support of Jason over the years and very harsh in criticism this week. Where do you stand now on the job security of Jason Garrett?
Well, I'm saying here, I know Jason very well. I've had a wonderful opportunity to spend a football life with him, so I know him very well. And you know, without a doubt, you've seen it, nobody wants Jason wants it to go. And I'm going to tell you this right now, he's got my back too. And I know that too, and he does have my back. This is disappointing. Before we started this game today, we said this team's going to be tough to beat. Buffalo's a good team. We certainly got the momentum. We got the wind taken out of us there in the back part of that second quarter, and we just didn't get it back. They got it done. That's all I'm saying. This is not the time. For me, I'm looking ahead at another ball game, and I'm looking ahead at winning 4 or 5 straight, and helping write a story that they'll talk about how it looked like you were down and out and got it done. And I mean that. I mean that. That's the way that I'm operating. Every decision that I make over the next month will be with an eye in mind to get us in the Super Bowl now. And I would normally say you're really smoking something. I normally would say that. But I know the room, and I see the room. And I'm the one that okayed and put the coaches that are in that room in there. And I believe in this group. That certainly was something that causes you to have to check, because you have to reach deep to find out what you're thankful for. That's what that does.
How much of your decision is about the fact that you're more likely?
There's no due respect here. You don't even have to have it.
Well,
I know you respect me.
It seems like you have tears in your eyes. Can you just talk about your emotions right now?
Well, I have it because I've been in a very emotional locker room with a lot of other guys that are emotional. And that's what it is.
They're 0-5 right now against winning teams.
Excuse me?
They're 0-5 right now against winning teams. What gives you confidence that they're going to win out and get to a Super Bowl at this point?
I don't know that I would inject confidence anywhere in this thing relative to just the hanging on the mathematical chance, but hanging on the fact that that group of people in there, I know that at various times over the last several years, I've thought they were absolutely exactly what I wanted to be in the room with as a part of a team. And so I'm based on that. Those names haven't changed. And we saw Cooper walk off today. I was worried about that knee. Would I have had the outcome that way and not been able to say his knee's all right? No. I'd rather have the outcome and his knee being all right, because we have still got a chance, and it's really because of the makeup of these guys. You can call that an indication of just how much I know.
Their backs were against the wall
but you
tonight.
called out the coaching staff, and they come out and go down 26-7 to the Bills at home. That didn't seem like they answered the bell with the makeup that you're talking about.
If I had thought that calling somebody out or going in there and giving them a Newt Rockney talk would have made any difference as to how we execute and how we do, then I'd bottle that and sell it to a lot of different places. Okay, that's not the way this thing works. That's not how it works at all. The guys in there, I've been with Jason in a lot of ups and downs, and back before he was coaching. So I've been with these guys, been with many of those players in there. And so this is certainly a downer, but I'm a part of a room full of guys that are having downers in there. And this isn't being too soft. If I thought going out here and taking each one of them and butting my head against them with their helmet on and mine off would help matters, then I'd be doing that. What I'm doing is realistically saying, do these guys have a makeup that we can start right now and win these games one by one and get where we might want to go? I agree it's outside. Right. Okay. But if we do that and win it one by one, we've got a chance to be in the right side of the playoff column.
How much of your belief is that
the mood of the locker room after a disappointing loss like this?
Obviously, everyone was disappointed. Unfortunately, we didn't do enough to win the ball game today, and everyone put so much into it. We didn't get the job done.
You started off really well with the touchdown on the first drive, and it seemed like things kind of went downhill from there. What happened after the first drive, really?
There were a lot of different things that happened throughout the ball game. I do think it was a good start for us, going down and scoring a touchdown at the outset of the game. Offensively, I thought we had too many drives where we were able to drive the ball and we didn't cash in. Had a couple missed field goals, and later on in the game, we weren't able to convert a fourth down in there close. The 2 turnovers obviously hurt us, gave them favorable field position. Thought the defense did a good job responding for the most part in those situations, but you can't do that against a team like this. We found some things that we like. We were able to move the ball at different times, but certainly weren't efficient enough to cash in on the drives like we needed to. On the defensive side of the ball, they did a good job. They ran the ball fairly consistently. Their quarterback did a really good job, delivering throws in critical moments and also running with the ball, keeping their drives alive. And they did a better job cashing in on their drives than we did.
With everything that was on the line today, are you surprised that this was what was put on display?
Yeah, obviously we didn't get the job done. They're a good football team, and we didn't do what we needed to do to win the game. And when you play a team like this, you got to cash in on your drives. You can't lose the turnover battle 2-0. And give them credit. They did a really nice job. We didn't do a good enough job, and we have to learn from it and move on.
At the end of the third quarter, you had a play there on fourth down. Just your thoughts on that play? Dak was incomplete to Zeke on the throw.
Yeah, we're down in there close, went forward in that situation. We just felt like that was the right thing to do, to try to score a touchdown. They heated us up, and, I think we had a decent opportunity. Have to look at it on tape. Obviously, we weren't able to complete the ball out on that left flat. And so, unfortunately, we didn't execute that particular play and finish the drive the way we wanted to.
Okay, guys, your reactions to the way Jerry Jones was talking to the media, you saw him get a little bit emotional there.
Yeah, he wants it. I mean, he really felt that he did everything during this offseason, leading up to this season, going through training camp, that he had all the pieces in place. And his final piece was bringing Zeke in here and making sure that he was happy and satisfied. And he thought from those first 3 games that we were well on our way. And then we've been up and down and very, very inconsistent. But one thing he banked it all on is that he knew that this offense should be able to score anywhere from 25 to 32 points a game. That has not happened in the last 2 games.
Yeah, you know what they say. You can't win Super Bowls on paper.
Right.
And, this team right now, they look talented. They look great on paper, but they're just not performing that well. Right now, they're performing as an average team. And this was surprising to me from Jerry Jones because he makes his one comment after the game and then, lets the week ride out until the next game. But, he was commenting and making talks this whole week. And he was serious about what he was saying. And as you saw, the tears coming down. This is a man that really wants it. This is a man that really wants to win. And he feels like this is the team that can do it. And it's to him, it's just disappointing that where they're at right now.
He's battling right now. He's battling himself against Jason Garrett. I'm being honest. I'm just being honest. You see a man that has put everything and all his resources into trying to make a coach successful and giving him every opportunity to be successful. What he said all last week, he went from Monday to Wednesday, the day before the game, challenging his coach and challenging his team. And the day they came out and they kind of laid an egg. Yeah. So right now, he's battling because fans are upset. Media types want Jason's head, and he's battling that. And I hope the best for Jason. I hope he pulls it together with this team, and his team rallied behind him, and they went off 6 straight. But you know what? Chicago is going to be mean and nasty, and you're going to have to come to play.
And the weather's going to be bad.
Another road game like the Patriots, going to be cold. We're going to take another break here. When we come back, more players and news on Amari's knee injury he sustained tonight, right after this.
Thank you for joining us on the web and with Barry Church. I'm Nate Newton. Man, Mr. Jones, man, I've rarely seen him that emotional. I see him get hyped, but to be on the other end where it's kind of, like he's going to shed a tear or two. What did you get from that?
I mean, it's hard. I know this is a guy that he put everything into this team, and he paid the players he wanted to pay, and he thought that this was a team that was going to take him there. So for him to get that emotional about it, he knows that, hey, this is it. This is do or die right here. We got to rattle these off. We got to get into the tournament. I've only seen Jerry that emotional one time, and that was when he had to let Wade go and brought Garrett in midway through the season. I only seen him emotional that one time, but this is a guy that put all his chips into a basket, and he's hoping that it works out.
You've seen Mr. Jones emotional like this, like I say, with that one time with Coach Phillips, but what's amazing is he's fighting that battle right now. It's a lot of frustrated fans, and that's who he's here to serve ultimately. And it's a lot of frustrated media types that want to see Jason out of here, but he is fighting that battle right now. And I know for a personal fact, he wants this guy to succeed. He's giving him every opportunity. He's put the pieces in place, and he wants to see this guy succeed. So, hey, Jason, do what you got to do. Rally your team. Let's start with Chicago, man. Back to you, OT.
Dak Prescott down. News, though, I want to touch on. Amari Cooper will receive an X-ray on his knee on Friday, which is tomorrow, after the helmet to the knee during the game. I mean, this is now his 6th go-around with some sort of injury to the lower half of his body. It's just seeming like he's kind of turning into a shell of himself out there a little bit.
Yeah, we've seen it these past couple weeks. He's just not able to be that explosive route runner that we've seen in the past. I mean, he counts his chickens on being able to outrun people and being able to out-explosiveness them, and he just hasn't been able to do that this year. I don't know if it's because of the soft tissue injuries or what it is, but so far this year, he's just not been able to step up when he's been faced against top 10 defenses.
We need Barry Church to be successful. He keeps the 8-man fronts off Zeke like Zeke keep the 7-man fronts that he need for him. So, hey, I pray for you, Amari, man. Eat you some turkey and let's do this thing.
Get up here and get better on Thanksgiving.
That's right.
Let's hear now from quarterback Dak Prescott at the podium at AT&T Stadium.
Dak, you had a great first drive, got the early 7-0 lead, and then things kind of started going downhill from there. What happened after that first drive?
Yeah, I mean, we started off fast, something different than we've been doing, but weren't able to keep it up, weren't able to get it going. We ended too many drives without points. Simple as that. I mean, it begins with the offense, converting in the red zone, getting touchdowns, and we weren't able to do that. And I think it starts there. Once you get behind like that, that's a good football team we played. We got behind, and they controlled the clock, and they did what they had to do, and yeah.
We heard a lot of screaming and hollering in the locker room. Just talk about the emotions in the locker room after the game and what the guys were feeling.
Yeah, emotional locker room. Just an exchange of words about us sticking together. Anything and everything outside of that locker room doesn't matter, and as simple as that.
What was your message in that exchange?
It's for those guys in the locker room.
But there's still belief that you can turn
100%. There's no belief has been lost, no confidence has been lost. This is simply execution, and it's on players. And that's kind of what that conversation was. Credit the leaders, credit Michael Bennett, those guys that started that. It was a great conversation. It was a great conversation, a lot of great words passed, but it's just all about us executing and just getting the job done, and it starts throughout the week about us doing things better.
It seemed like the second quarter everything went wrong. Can you talk about it in your own words?
We turned the ball over a couple times, back-to-back drives. I mean, it's hard to come back off that. But I mean, we just gotta play better. We gotta play better football.
Nobody in this room is happy. In fact, everybody was upset going in here. Can you talk about how everybody feels right now?
Right now, we're pissed off. We know what type of team we have, and we haven't put that on the foot at all this year. So we're pissed off. Yeah.
Were you surprised they got away from the running game because you were running so well in the first quarter?
We kind of got down, and I think that first drive we didn't run the ball. We got it down there, we made it to the red zone, we just didn't punch it in. We get down, you kind of got to get away from the running game.
It was a short week.
Are you okay?
Yeah, guy just hit me in my knee, flipped over. Getting looked at more tomorrow.
Will they have to do an MRI?
X-ray.
How would you rate the disappointment, especially in the locker room right after that game? How would you describe the scene in here?
It was very disappointing. Just with everything that's at stake, where we are in the season. And a loss in general is just very disappointing. But to lose in this fashion with where we are, it's just devastating. But we still have a lot of hope. We got 4 games left, and it's a lot we can accomplish.
Here's Dak Prescott, the last few games that he's had. The last 2 right there, obviously very low, Patriots and Bills. Previous 3 games, those are his numbers. And he's looking to connect with Amari Cooper. He's a huge reason that Dak has been so successful. But when Amari uses the words devastating, how do you find it within yourself to get the juice to go out and win? I know, firing a coach during the middle of the season says, hey, we're done. But these players kind of feel that way right now as far as where they've got themselves to this point of the season.
Yeah, it seems that in all these interviews, even last week's interviews, these players just seem extremely frustrated right now. We have all this talent, but why aren't we producing that way? And Dak said it best. He said, we got to execute more. He put it on the players. He put it on himself and saying, hey, the coaches are putting us in this position. We just got to be able to go out there and make the plays. And I agree with them 100%. They got to go out there and execute at a better pace than what they've been doing if they want to make the playoffs.
2 weeks ago, you were 6-4. Today, you stand at 6-6 with the Eagles screaming down on you. The mistakes have to stop. Your coach has already told you that. Your quarterback has reiterated what your coach has said. The owner has told you that. Now you have to find it within yourself as an individual to go out and play like that. Clean the game up, stop the turnovers, and you'll win the games.
All right, we're going to take another break. We'll hear more from the locker room and talk more of this Cowboys defense, where they can go from here with the Bears around the corner after this.
Thank you for joining us on the Well with Barry Church. I'm Nate Newton. Man, Zeke is frustrated. He may be doing some screaming in the locker room. We see Amari Cooper use the word devastation. Is it that bad, Church?
For me, I don't think it's that bad. It's not devastation because you still have the opportunity to go to the playoffs. You still have all your goals that you wanted at the beginning of the season. They're right there in front of you still. It's just you got to go out there and grab them. Nobody's going to give it to you. Nobody's going to sit there and say, oh, they're the Dallas Cowboys. Let me go ahead and give them this playoff berth or this Super Bowl ring. Nobody's going to do that. They're going to have to go out there and earn it. And Dak Prescott said it best. He said we're going to go out there and we have to execute, and we're going to have to bring home a W for our team. It's not on the coaches. It's on us.
When you look at that right there, you don't want to see that coming from your number one receiver, that word devastation. You got to somehow, some way, if that X-ray turn up in a positive way for you, you got to get yourself together, mentally wrap this thing around you. I know 2 weeks ago you were 6-4. Today you're 6-6 and literally fighting game for game against the Philadelphia Eagles. But hey, do what you have to do to get yourself mentally ready. Back to the OT.
Cowboys OT live from the Star in Frisco. We're going to check in now with the defenders of the locker room, hear what they had to say post-game following tonight's loss.
We still have 4 games left, and we still got a shot, so no need to hang our head.
Josh Allen, obviously he's athletic. He can do some things with his feet. What made Bills? They were very efficient as an offense. What made them so efficient, I guess, today?
They picked up plays when they needed to. Can't take anything away from them. You know, offensively they just made plays when they needed to. A couple big passes, a couple big runs, and kind of kept their drive alive. Their defense created some turnovers, so they just played a great for the Bills. Played a great team, great game for them. But I mean, again, we look at ourselves. We got to do better collectively. So again, just one of those days.
Well, for me, I try to do stuff out of the extraordinary, man, and I just got to do better next time, just do my job.
Is it fair that the coaching staff is coming under such heat, or is that just part of the deal?
It's the ones we playing. The coach is not out there playing.
Appreciate it.
Jordan, how do you describe tonight's game?
It's hard. Hard to be part of, honestly, knowing that we have so much talent, and it just hurt. I mean, speaking from my play, I feel like I let my team down a lot, trying too hard instead of just, doing right.
As you say, with all this talent, what do you think is happening with the team lately?
We got to find it. We just got to find it. I feel like we just got to get closer. I mean, this can divide us, or we can get closer from this, and that's the final thing.
There is 4 more games remaining. What is the mentality of this team?
We can still win our division and go to the playoffs. That's what it is. I mean, of course, we want to win this one, but at the same time, we got to look forward and do our best to get into the playoffs.
Thank you.
Playing this earlier this year, once the team gets up on you, now they're two-dimensional, and it's hard to dictate run or pass, and they had both games working for them today, and they came out with the win.
Your thoughts on Josh Allen? First time having to see him.
Yeah, he's a good, strong young quarterback, and he controlled the game with the pace and the run pass options.
What happened? How do y'all go about turning this thing around and getting back going the way you need to be?
It's all about the men in this room, looking each other in the eye, looking each other in the mirror, and really, making that turn about what they really want in this life and what they want out of this career and out of this game. So it's all about us, coming together, facing adversity and looking it in the eye and turning it around.
You're one of the team leaders. Do you still believe in the leadership above you, the coaching staff, that they can get you where you need to go?
Yeah, that's a stupid question, but yes, absolutely. I feel like this is a man's game. It's not just on the coaching staff. I don't feel like they did anything to, hurt us. So we did self-inflicted wounds, and it was really about, the offense and the defense capitalizing, and we didn't do that tonight.
There he goes, Marcus Lawrence, taking our final break here from Cowboys OT. When we return, we'll take a look at what's ahead for the Cowboys and how they're still hanging in after this.
Thank you for joining us on the web. I'm here with Barry Church. I'm Nate Newton. Barry,
what's that?
You said as soon as it was asked, do you still believe in the leadership of this coach? and D-Law said, stupid question, but you know what? That is the questions that's going to have to be answered by your leadership of not only your coaching staff but of the players. So, what are you feeling?
If I'm DeMarcus, I mean, he answered it perfectly. I mean, they still trust in his coaching staff, and they still trust in his teammates and the leaders of this team. If the owner can go out there and vocally say he still supports his head coach, and then you have to follow suit. As a player, you got to follow suit. If the owner hasn't given up on you, you don't need to give up on that head coach as well.
Yeah, we heard a little bit from Jordan Lewis saying, he tried a little too hard. He tried to press and get himself out of position. That is what you cannot do at this time in your playoff run.
You can't do it at all. You got to trust your teammates, and you got to trust that they're going to do their job and get it done. And he said he was just trying to do too much out there.
Wow. Back to you, OT.
Cowboys OT was brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Wendy's. Wendy's one and only spicy nuggets are back on the menu. Available at participating Wendy's for a limited time only. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass.
1 minute to go here on Cowboys OT. Chicago next week. Forecast is partly cloudy with a low of 32. Then you got the Rams, Eagles. We've been talking about that game every single week. We were not wrong. It is going to matter. Do you guys have hope left for this team?
I do. We got to play it all the way to the end. You have the talent. Let's go out and let's perform. You have the talent.
Sunday.
Yes.
Everything's still in front of this team. They're in first place still. Their playoff hopes are still alive. They just got to go out there and execute and win.
It's up to Dak Prescott, Ezekiel. Offense? You guys looking at the offense to carry this thing
30 points
through?
a game. 30 points a game. They have to do it. If they don't do it, it's going to be ugly.
There you have it. Barry Church, Nate Newton, Lindsey Draper. We'll see you a week from today, next Thursday after the Bears game for another episode of Cowboys OT. We'll see you then. Happy Thanksgiving.